Wee woo, wee woo. Is that the police? No. It's me. But call me the Valorant police because Brimstone on Haven? This should be illegal. And you're playing it with double duelist raised jet as well? Have Foot lost their minds? What on earth are they doing? And yet they won this game. Brimstone on Haven won a pro game. I know. A game that people were trying in, by the way. I know. Correct. I know. But let's talk about Foot for a second, because Foot are a team that like to play very weird stuff. Okay? And that's great. I love that. You know, good for you. Play weird stuff. I want more teams to play weird stuff. You know, have your own ideas about where the game should go and all of that. And sometimes their weird stuff works. Sometimes it doesn't work. Okay? And in this first round that we're going to show, I do have some questions, like in this round, round number 5, right? Because this is how a lot of their attack rounds went, right? And you know Brimstone, right? You'll know Brimstone, right? He has 3 of these, 3 smokes. They don't recharge through a round. You'll know that, right? So here's smoke number 1, right? Smoke. You see it? Yes, it's on the screen. Cool. And this is fine, right? Gives you this a long control. Cool. This is one of your smokes. You still got 2 in the bank, right? It's fine. Now, maybe it's just me. I don't know if you would look at this comp with a raised neon with a brim and a gecko and think, they're probably just gonna, you know, run it down on teams, because that would make sense with double duelist and Brimstone. But here's the thing about Foot is that this is what I don't get. They play these comps like this, where it's like, oh, obviously you're just gonna run it down. Okay, that's cool. There's 3 sites potentially to run it down on. That's fine. But they don't, right? They do a lot of this. They do a lot of, I'm going to smoke off this, and then we're going to default here and do this, right? And now, you might just see on the map, there's this thing over here. This is a brim smoke. That's a brim smoke right there, right? And their Cypher here is going to slowly walk into garage here and pressure up and, you know, destroy this trip. The smoke is almost gone by this point, but hey, they destroy this trip. They got this smoke here. But you might know that Brim only has 3 smokes. 3. So now they haven't done an exec yet. They're about to come an exec A, but they got 1 smoke. What? Like, how do you think this is going to go? It's also awfully executed, and they're maybe a bit fortunate here that no one's in heaven, because they're not going to smoke heaven. So if there was someone in heaven and you did this, like, good luck. Good luck.
Sonra kırdı Krostel'i garajda.
Bir kamerasına bakar mısın Kraven'in attı?
Ve comeback şimdi garajı izliyor. A'ya gelecekler. Flash çoktan kırıldı. Nasıl çıkacak? E2J ve Zeus'un girişi. Çıkar çıkmaz paranoya etkisindeler ve Loita Rose geçtiğimiz roundda nerede kaldıysa oradan devam ediyorlar. Onlardan gelen birer skor. Futu Esports'un neredeyse şansını bitirdi burada.
Çok hala oyuncular var. Larok son anda gördü. Sarsmaya gönderdi. 2 oyuncu birden yakalanmış olabilir. Kutuya doğru çok bırakıldı. Çıkmaya çalışıyorlar Larok. Harika işledi burayı. Tek tek yetenekleriyle beraber tuzağa düşürdü. Son kalan oyuncu Cross'ta onu da Rose vuruyor.
Yeah, not great. Right? But now let's take a look as well with another problem that they had sometimes, like in round number 10. Where in this one, they're going to go and try and grab the ult orb here. You see that, you know, to be fair to Pacific, they're on it, right? They recognize, like, hey, okay, they're 1 off a Gecko ult. They're probably going to try and get this Gecko ult, you know, in like a crucial gun round where money is low here, right? They're going to play for this ult. It makes sense. So you see that on the map already, you know, Pacific are pinging this. They already have 3 players out here, you know, kind of ready for this. So it's good recognition. But this is another problem that you could sometimes have, of course, when you've only got 3 smokes. This Brim character only has 3 smokes. They don't recharge. So anytime you use one of those smokes and you've only got 3 of them, it's like, I wonder if they're there, right? Like, it's a pretty big giveaway, pretty big tell, like something's probably going on, because they've only got 3 smokes. Normally you're only going to have 1 of them to use to kind of, you know, default around the map. So that's probably, you know, where they're going to be.
Bir şekilde pardon. Ve şu an Mr. Fall'in bu arada orbun alınmasını istiyorlar. Hamle mükemmel. Loita 2 vurdu. Comeback yukarıdan ona yardım etti. Ve BPL Pacific round'u tek hamlede sanki bitirdi.
Beklenmeyen hamle dediğimiz. Cross'ta bu arada kill aldı. Zeus.
Dikkat!
Rakibini yakalamak için biraz hareketlendiriyor vuruyor. Yalnız uzaklardan da yeri belli oldu. Kraven hasar verdi. Zeus hala işaretli. Şimdi geri çıkmaya çalışacak ama comeback.
So given what I've just shown you, you're probably wondering, well, how the hell did FUT win this map? Well, the defense side actually went very, very well for them. And okay, on attack they won a pistol and a bonus, that's always going to help. But then on defense side as well, they were able to do the same thing with some really nice B retakes.
Ekonomilerin tamamen neredeyse bitmesi anlamına geliyor. Tuğçe'nin bu arada yanından ışık hızında bir ok geçti.
Oo, bu arada şimdi bir drone gelecek, YTC'ye yakın burada bombayı bıraktı. Hızlı bir aksiyon olmasın diye, üzerlerine gelmesin diye bu oyuncular. İyi bir karardı bence. Atılan bir tane de stun var. Zarok tarafından garaja doğru. Evet, yine B'yi istiyorlar gibi. Buradan dönebilirler. Şu an plant'i alma çabası var Loita'nın, o yüzden dönme kararı yok. Ve Loita içeride tek, buradan çıkabilmesi oldukça zor. TP'yi kullanana kadar Mr. Fall'un geldi ve fırsattan istifade. Entry'yi aldı. Şimdi smoke ajan olmayacak. Buraya bırakılan bir bombayın ne kadar etkili olduğunu biliyorsun.
Aynen öyle. Şimdi önce smoke açılmasını bekliyorlar. Bu arada C'den arkalayan da Frostali var. Mr. Fallen şöyle bir fake attı. Krax'ın bu arada hala kankuşu var. Kullanılabilir. Bu arada comeback'ten çok iyi vuruş geldi ama deşiyle çıkamadı. YTC'den gelen takas var. Zeus aramaya başladı. YTC bu arada yere kadar almak durumunda. Eş zamanlı killer geldi her yerden Zeus önderliği.
There's a couple things to this round for me, okay? And one of them is I don't know what Pacific are doing here, right? Really, this makes kind of no sense to me. Against this comp, you never really want to be playing like fast. You never really want to be planting the spike. I would say before the first 40 seconds, you want to kind of, bleed out some of their utility because, hey, they've got 3 agents who, aren't going to have refreshable utility, right? So you want to bleed that stuff out. And if you destroy Cypher stuff as well, you're going to be in a good spot because they're going to have like no utility essentially. Instead, you go for a fast plant here on B, without taking any space essentially and basically playing for spam. Right, like, okay, spams are good. Yeah, we all know spams are good. That's great. But just the general game plan of playing this fast against this kind of comp, not a great idea in my opinion. That now that they have kind of utility to play with, you've got the Gecko for potential wingmans on the spike as well, right, to create pressure on you. So for instance, wingman, and again, I understand you're not used to playing against the Gecko here on Haven. But these B kind of, hey, we're going to spam it post plants, are going to be harder when, we got FUT with a nice little protocol here of coming out towards C and creating this flank. And I think, we do a good job here, this Cypher, just surviving essentially, and being kind of a thorn in the backside, not really showing yourself too early, putting the cage up, just basically making this guy look at you and not the spike, right? So while Swingman is on the spike, you're not looking at the spike, you're looking at me instead. That's good for us, right? And it ends up paying out, and we end up winning the round. It's a nice little retake by FUT, but from Pacific, like if you're playing against this kind of comp, you can't be playing that fast. And another thing that this comp is going to be really good at, and we've seen this with a couple kind of comps here on Haven, whether it's this one with a double duelist or the kind of Fnatic ISO Yoru comp, both of those kind of comps have a similar sort of thing going on where you can be pretty good like really aggroing here on A, right? But then once you've aggroed on A, you can very quickly kind of get across, right? With the Yoru, it would be kind of a TP back here. With this kind of comp, it would be maybe the Neon Sprint. Obviously, you have the Brim Stim Beacon maybe as well to, get across the map as well. So essentially, you can be super aggro here to start off with, and then, still manage to get across the map in time and hope that if they come towards C, your Cypher will be able to kind of delay them enough to allow potentially for your Neon to get back across. And that is a big, big advantage on Haven of how some of these, seemingly you would think this comp would be awful on defense, right? But on a map like Haven, if you can be super aggro and then still get across to the other side of the map, you can actually do pretty well like this.
İlk iki haritaların skorunda comeback atan taraf BBA Pasifik oldu. Ama genel toplamda 0-2 düşüp geriye seriye comeback atan da FUT Espor oluyor gibi görünüyor.
Ve şimdi 4'e 5 Larok düşürülen isim. Comeback'te bir ulti var. Kreven mükemmel bir çatı imza attı. Reis ultiyle YTC arkadaşının öcünü almış oldu. Loita takas burada özür dilerim tuzağa yakalandı ama kimsenin görüşü yok. Krostali Rose'u düşürmüş. Yine büyük bir avantaj FUT Esports'ta ve Krostali ortayı tutuyor. Bir fake'i verildi. Plant fake'i ve oyunu C'ye sürükledi BBL Pasifik oyuncuları. Comeback'te ulti varken ve Loita'da da bu rifle varken tabii hala imkan var ama comeback'in tek bir bıçağı kalmış. Bu da tabii ki işleri olduğundan daha da zor bir hale getiriyor. 45 saniye.
Riske girmek istemiyor tabii. FUT'ta hani gerekirse plant alınsın. Şimdi sesi duyunca Mr. Fallen uzundan koşmaya başladı. Spam'dan 2 oyuncu gelecek. Tek tek yakalaması lazım. Özellikle BBA Pasifik oyuncularının. Mr. Fallen uzundan geldi. Uzuna baktı, kimse yok dedi. Backside'deki ilk oyuncuyu gördü Loita. O işte 1 vs 1'i yakaladı. Kili çıkardı. 2 vs 3. Şimdi Crostari smoke'tan biraz rahatsız. Onu bekleyecek bir yandan. Y2J acaba Lorok var mı diye baktı. Sahne içerisinde o bıçak boşa gidince Y2J yakaladı ve tek başına kalan Loite'ye de Crostari vurdu. O bıçak gelse...